This episode is brought to you by Hyperice, the leader in advanced warm-up and recovery technology. They have tons of innovative products, like Venom-heated wearables to help soothe sore back muscles, Normatec compression boots to speed up recovery and increase circulation, and Hypervolt massage guns to improve mobility. Loved by athletes like Naomi Osaka and Erling Haaland. Try them yourself. Get 10% off your order with the code MOVE at hyperice.com.
Survivor 46 is here, and so is On Fire, the only official Survivor podcast, and we have a twist this season. The winner of Survivor 45, Dee Valladares, will be joining us every week.
We're going behind the scenes of the biggest moments, the how and the why things happen, and the strategy and analysis you can only get from someone like me, a Survivor winner.
Listen to On Fire, the official Survivor podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
With threats to our nation waiting around every corner, adaptability is more important than ever. When conditions change without notice, quick strategic thinking is crucial. And with obstacles consistently impending, determination is essential in overcoming them. It's this willingness, decisiveness, and resilience that sets Marines apart. With our fighting spirit, we don't just fight battles, we win them. Marines are the constant our nation counts on to fight the unknown. And through adaptable problem solving, we do just that. Learn more at marines.com.
Hi, I'm Marion Franklin, a GB canoe slalom athlete.
Yeah, I'm Joe Clark. I am the Olympic champion from Rio 2016.
I'm Joe Fraser, Team GB gymnast.
Hey, my name's Emma Wilson. I'm a windsurfer. I'm really happy to be selected for Team GB for Paris 2024.
This is Anything But Footy, the Olympic and Paralympic podcast, covering the games all the time rather than just once every 4 years when the summer or the winter edition rolls around. I'm Michael.
And I'm John, and it's new Olympic year, new intro music. Thanks to the athletes so far who've introduced us, and we are at number 100. Yeah, we've done many, many more pods with us chatting Olympic and Paralympic news, talking about you at the Gold Coast, Michael, you wearing Hannah Mills's first gold medal, my tennis obsession, and Sir Andy Murray, of course. But really, this is the big 100.
We are centurions, and they said it would never work. Maybe they were kind of right. We're still kind of waiting. But coming up in this episode, we are ploughing on regardless. It's an Olympic and Paralympic year. It's a bonus edition as well, number 100 this week. It's here. It's the Olympics and a medal-winning start for athletes from Great Britain and Northern Ireland already. A European cycling roundup to come.
And we're also joined by two British hockey stars who are just 4 or potentially 5 games away from securing their place at Paris 2024.
We will also round up the rest of our news from the games. I might mention Yorkshire's bid for the Commonwealth Games too. We will be talking, amongst other things, swimming, table tennis, water polo and the torch relay.
And you can stay in touch with us and see what we're doing at any time. Anything But Footy on social media, you will find us there, or check out our website, anythingbutfooty.com.
So let's start cycling then, and a medal-winning start to 2024 for British cycling. Well done to those guys. Week 1, and we are right in the middle of what we've termed our first major event of Olympic Paralympic year. Now, this one is ahead of the Olympic Games. It's the European Track Cycling Championships. They're being staged in Apeldoorn in the Netherlands. It concludes on Sunday. Now, a squad of 23 have travelled representing Great Britain, all part of this qualification process for the Paris Olympics. We'll speak more about that in a moment. Now, the team includes 8 current world champions and 13 medalists from the 2023 World Championships. Some of the ones that I think are worth watching out for. Emma Finney, the world sprint champion. The women's team pursuiters, they were world champions last August, so keep an eye out for Eleanor Barker, Meg Barker, Josie Knight and Anna Morris. Also Nia Evans. I mean, you mentioned the Gold Coast. Shall I mention the Gold Coast was when I sat on Nia Evans' feet and a very packed tram. She's the world Madison champion representing Great Britain at the European Track Cycling Championships. And Ethan Vernon, the elimination race world champion as well.
And you mentioned him there. Ethan Vernon was part of the victorious men's team pursuit that was won its first European gold in 9 years and beat the world champions Denmark in the process alongside Dan Bigham, Ethan Hayter and Charlie Tanfield. The awesome foursome clocked 3:49.974 in the Netherlands, and a delighted Vernon spoke to British Cycling afterwards.
Yeah, it's one of the last races we'll do against the guys here, so it's nice to do a good time and take some confidence going into Paris.
And of course, like this meant quite a lot, more so because of, unfortunately, World didn't go to plan last year, so racking up those points ahead of Paris, this was a vital result to get.
Yeah, it was, yeah. A few of us are going off onto the road now with our team, so we're not going to be back together for a few months, so it's nice to have a high like that before we go off and do our own things for a bit, and then we'll come back for the Last Nations Cup.
And there was more medal success, but it wasn't quite a Dutch double in the women's team pursuit. The world champions, the British world champions, themselves in Glasgow last year, claiming the silver in the final against Italy.
Great to hear from our medal-winning team pursuiters there. A flying start for the British cycling team, and that came after 2 silver medals and a 4th place on day 1 in Apeldoorn. The silver medal for the women's sprint team of Katie Marchant, Sophie Capewell, Emma Finucane, who I've already mentioned, and Lowry Turner. Germany won the gold. Ali Fielding, Hamish Turnbull and Jack Carlin in the men's team sprint finished 4th. Let's hear then from that women's team back on the podium, speaking with British Cycling.
Yeah, really good. I feel like we came into this with a lot of training behind us, and we wanted to execute 3 really good rides, and I feel like we've done that as a team. And yeah, I'm really proud of all of us. We nailed our processes, and we put down a time that we're really, really proud of. And yeah, we're coming, so we're not that far off. So I'm really excited.
And speaking of we're coming, it seems like there's a bit of a thorn in your side at the moment in the form of the Germans. What do you do about a team like that when you're competing almost every big event now? It's you two fighting for the top spot.
I think we just got to keep working and concentrating on ourselves. We keep pushing the Germans to almost breaking world records every time we come up against them, so if not breaking world records. So yeah, it's really exciting, and we have a long-term goal, and obviously that's Paris, and yeah, we're really confident in our ability, and yeah, I think as a team we're in a really, really good place.
And first major event of the year, I think, for you lot. How are the legs feeling in general?
Yeah, it's a bit interesting. So we've literally just come out of a super heavy block, so coming out with a time that I think is our fastest apart from Worlds, and even match one of our Worlds times is pretty special, and knowing how much is left in the tank and how hard we've dug, it's just that extra little bit of motivation going forward, knowing how much more is to come.
And looking forward to the season ahead. It's going to be a heck of a season with all the Nations Cups and then potentially the Olympics as well. So what's that feeling like to look forward to?
It's absolutely amazing. To have started with the Euros going as well as this.
The women's sprint silver medalists, Great Britain, Emma Finucane, Katie Marchant, Sophie Capewell and Lowry Thomas.
And there was also a silver medal for Will Tidball in the men's elimination race. Now, that is his first individual elite European medal. Let's hear again what he had to tell British Cycling after the event.
I'm not here to make excuses. It was a good race and, good way to start the year.
And a brilliant way, to propel yourself through the season. How are you feeling thinking about the rest of the season going forward?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a big year, isn't it? After last year winning the Worlds, that was massive. And then, if you'd have told me last year I'd be getting a silver medal at Euros, I'd probably be happy. But the fact that I'm a little bit disappointed obviously shows the standard I'm going for now. So, it's a good start to the year and hopefully we can progress on.
So maybe some new names there for Olympic fans as we look towards Paris in the summer, looking ahead to where the medals might be won as far as the track is concerned. We've got some other cycling meetings coming up, of course, and the next one, I think, from a track point of view that we should be looking at, which is really the end of the qualification period for the track cyclists, will be the Three Nations Cup. And after that, we'll have a decent idea of who our track cyclists are going to be. As far as the other disciplines of cycling are concerned, in BMX, we've got World Cups and World Championships, the same in mountain bike as well. And we've got 2 big qualification events for some of the urban sports. So when we talk about cycling and the urban sports, we're talking BMX again here, the urban qualification events taking place, the freestyle and the park BMX cyclists in Shanghai and Budapest as well. We're also going to have another World Championship for the paracyclists, a track World Championship taking place in March, and a couple of Road World Cup events for our paracyclists taking taking place in the spring as well. I think, as always, we will be optimistic, won't we, about the medal hopes as far as British cycling and British cyclists are concerned once we get around to the Olympics and certainly the Paralympics, but plenty to get our teeth in between now and then.
Yeah, and you mentioned one of them, Will Tidball. I think, he's someone to watch. I mean, he won a World Championship gold medal in Glasgow last summer. He's aged only 23, and it really shows that he just keep coming, and from right across the country as well. He's from Exmouth, which you wouldn't normally say is a hotbed of cycling, but British cycling keep getting it right, and congratulations to all them who have medalled so far at those European Championships. Now, also hoping to get it right this week are Great British Hockey. It is Olympic year, yet we're going to keep saying it. So England, Scotland, Wales hockey have all come together, and the best of the UK are in the squads and have travelled to Oman and Spain this coming week. Now they're looking to book their place at Paris 2024. And look, we're going to keep saying that a lot in the next few weeks and months.
Yeah, it is the Olympic qualifiers as far as hockey is concerned, taking place in Muscat and in Valencia as well. The British men and the women need to finish in the top 3. So they've got some group games. They have to finish top 2 to progress to the semi-finals. Now, the British women, who have been successful winning medals in the last 3 Olympics and Commonwealth Games, have, I think, the slightly tougher group. They're up against Canada, up against the host nation Spain, up against Malaysia as well. And we'll hear from Scotland and Great Britain's Sarah Robertson, who's in that squad. She'll be speaking with John in a moment. But first, the British men, who, as we said, are in Muscat in Oman. They're taking on Pakistan, Malaysia and China over the next few days. And John has been catching up with England and Great Britain defender James Albery.
Just missed out on qualification at the Europeans, coming second to the Dutch, which was one of our best results in recent years, actually. But yeah, the way that Olympic qualification works now means we have to come to this qualifier tournament over in Oman, which hopefully we'll be able to get the job done.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because you win a silver medal, which, as you say, was a great result for the British men and one of the highlights probably of the last few years, as well as the Commonwealth Games bronze as well. But then there was disappointment at the same time. How do you kind of process that?
Yeah, to be honest, it was a really difficult one. We set out with really clear intentions in that tournament that we wanted to win it. We felt like we were in a really good place going into the tournament, felt like we've been playing some good stuff. So, we really felt that we had a chance there. And as you say, it was a bittersweet feeling. We were really pleased to get to the final. We beat the Germans in the semi-final on penalties, which is unheard of. Things didn't quite go our way in the final, probably didn't put our best stuff out there. But yeah, ultimately we were happy with how we played throughout the tournament, but not quite managing to get what we wanted. So yeah, definitely a bittersweet feeling.
And all the teams you play, Pakistan first, then Malaysia, then China, all below you in the world rankings. Does that help?
It's difficult to say. I mean, ultimately rankings mean nothing when you're both out there on the pitch. But yeah, I mean, we've been playing some good stuff over the last few years, and our ranking is fully deserved in our opinion. So we definitely won't be fearing any of the 3 teams, but at the same point, we've got a lot of respect for them. They're 3 very good teams in their own right who bring a slightly different game to what we've been used to in Europe. Some slightly different skill sets. By no means will they be easy, and they'll be trying to sort of to take what they think they can take from us. So as I say, none of the games will be easy, but hopefully if we bring our best game, we feel pretty confident.
And you mentioned about finishing in the top 3 overall. So I assume you have to win the group to do that. Is that the way it works?
So top 2 of the group get out and go into a semi-final. You then play a crossover with the other group, which we are assuming, which you never should do, but will probably be either maybe Germany or New Zealand, or another strong team. Just looking at rankings, so they're probably the 2 that we're looking at in the crossover. But to be honest with you, we just want to, get the group done, come top of our group, and give ourselves the best chance of going through.
Yeah, absolutely. So effectively, you're 4 or 5 games away from the Olympics.
Yeah, sounds easy when you say it like that, doesn't it? Yeah, I think could be 4, could be 5, depending on how they go. But I'll give you another cliche. We'll be taking every game as it comes. which is a cliche, but in honesty, it's the truth. These 3 games coming up first in the group are just as important as the crossovers. So we definitely won't be looking too far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, which is great to see. And I mean, it would mean so much. We've got some great heritage in the sport of Great Britain in the Olympics.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, in recent years, probably haven't quite gone as well as we'd liked. I know people keep looking back at sort of 1988 and Sean Curley, and whenever you tell anyone in the country that you play hockey, that's all they ever bring up. So we've got some fantastic heritage, and we're really hoping that if we bring our best stuff this week and then bring our best stuff in the summer, if all goes well, that we'll hopefully be able to create a little bit of history ourselves.
And just finally, you're a defender. That seems like a really hard position on a hockey field, because effectively you're just trying to get in the way of stopping people from shooting, aren't you? Effectively,
yeah. I mean, I try not to get in the way as much as possible, but try and block as many shots. The attackers will tell you that they're actually the brave ones that like to stand in the way and deflect it in the goal. Honestly, obviously we do all the hard graft at the back, and then they take all the rewards. So no, it's to be honest with you, it doesn't really matter where you play. The ball can get you from anywhere. Defenders are definitely the bravest of them all.
Well, we wish you all the best, the whole team. Great Britain going for that Olympic qualification. James Albery, thank you so much for talking to us.
Cheers. Thanks very much for having me.
I'm Sarah Robertson, hockey player for Great Britain.
So, Sarah, I've just been speaking to James, and he said that defenders were braver than attackers in hockey, and you just take the glory. Any reaction to that?
As an attacker, I would definitely agree with that. I'm quite an honest player, so I would have to admit that our defenders are definitely braver. And do we take the glory? I suppose we do, but I think our defenders also get a bit of glory when they make the good saves.
I mean, from a spectating point of view, you don't want to be anywhere in front of a ball being hit hard, do you? It's quite a scary game, in all seriousness.
No, it is a scary game. I've definitely had a few bad knocks in my career that take you a while to bounce back from. But yeah, definitely with the right equipment and protection, it can be safe. But yeah, you're always ready for that element of where could it be, and that's why it's so important to be on your A game at these sort of things. Right, keep your eye on the ball.
Absolutely. And I know we're a podcast called Anything But Footy, but I was reading on the Team GB website today that you wanted to be a footballer.
Yeah, I did. I played a lot of football when I was young. It was definitely my first sport, the first sport that I fell in love with. And then I only started playing hockey when I went to high school. But I think the good thing about it for me was that there was a lot of similarities between football and hockey. Similar sort of size pitch, 11 players. Just take away the offside rule and add in a lot more skill into hockey. So yeah, for a while I definitely knew what I wanted to do in hockey, but I didn't quite have the skills to do it. So it took me a long time to sort of develop the skills for it.
So here we are, Olympic year. You guys not quite there yet. In some ways, a long way to go. In some ways, a very short time to go.
Yeah, no, exactly. It seems crazy that it's an Olympic year only 3 years after, 2.5 after Tokyo. And as you say, yeah, we're obviously not qualified yet, but that's the aim of this next 10 days or so, to make sure we book our ticket as a squad to get to Paris. And as well, it's also good preparation for us on that journey. We're confident that, if we do everything right, we will qualify. And this is a good step on that journey.
So no real change as you prepare for these games then in Valencia. That's where you are at the moment. And what a game to kick off with in your group against Canada, against Danny Kerry and Kate Richardson-Walsh, who, of course, people will know from the Rio 2016 gold medal team.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's a funny one. Obviously, Kate as well coached me at club hockey up until about last year. So yeah, it's definitely people who we know well. We're definitely trying to take that narrative out of it. Ultimately, we're playing Canada, who we respect as a team. We know what sort of challenge we're going to face, but we're definitely trying to remove any sort of rivalry that exists between Kate and Danny. I'm sure they'll throw some interesting challenges our way, but we're preparing for it as normal.
And England are ranked 7th in the world. Spain, your next opponents in your group, are ranked 8th. This is a tough group. You need to finish in the top 2 to progress to the semi-finals.
Yeah, it is a tough group. Spain are a very good side. Obviously, we're playing them here at home. The last time I think we played them for Great Britain was the Olympics in the quarterfinal, which was a draw, and it went to a shootout. So yeah, we know that they're a tricky team to play. We played them in a practice match out here, which was a good sort of to get a flavour of where they're at a couple of years on from the Olympics as Great Britain. But yeah, we've also got Malaysia and Canada in the group, who are 2 teams that we don't play often. So they present a different challenge, a different style of hockey compared to the top 10 teams that we're used to playing all the time. So yeah, each team has their own sort of nuances and different challenges that they're going to throw at us.
London 2012, Rio 2016, Tokyo 2020, stroke 21. You all came away with medals, the women's team. Is that pressure, or does that really benefit you?
Yeah, I think going into Tokyo a couple of years ago, we were keen to acknowledge that was a legacy that had come before us, but also with an acknowledgement that we were a very new team going into Tokyo. I think in Tokyo there was 7 people who'd played in the Olympics prior to that and 9 new people. So the majority were definitely new. It was their first Olympics, so we were keen to write our own history with that. And nobody probably would have put any money on us to medal. We kind of pulled it out the bag over those 2 weeks. But yeah, I guess at the moment the conversation is all just make sure we get to Paris. Like, we're not even talking about what Paris looks like at the moment. It's just book our ticket.
But from your own personal point of view, Tokyo was a very different games with no crowd. So, from your ambitions point of view, I'm sure you're desperate to get to Paris.
Yeah, definitely. No, it is. I considered, stopping after Tokyo. I took a bit of a break after it, and then I still felt like I was in a really good spot. And yeah, the fact that it's an Olympics in Europe, friends and family can get there. And I think in general, it's going to have an amazing buzz. Paris, you can already see some of the hype about the venues, and yeah, the fact that there's going to be a crowd. I think people will really embrace sport, and we just want to be part of that.
Well, we wish you all the best over the next few weeks. Enjoy the sunshine or the warmth out there as well. And thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
So that's Great Britain hockey player Sarah Robertson. Before that, we heard from the men's team, James Albery speaking to John from Valencia and Muscat ahead of those crucial Olympic qualifying tournament matches. Must-wins for British hockey and, of course, for Team GB as well. The BBC Red Button and their digital channels will be showing those matches if you would like to watch. Follow us on social media. We'll be bringing you the very latest. And talking of the latest, still to come, our news from the games. This is Anything But Footy, the Olympic and Paralympic podcast.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
You're listening to Anything But Footy. It is episode 100.
We should have fireworks or something, shouldn't we? Going off in the background.
When we got to 50 Great British Bosses, we booked a dame as the guest. Now we're on to episode 100.
It's a little harsh on the cyclists and the hockey players.
I was going to say we've got a fantastic lineup of cyclists and hockey players, and you and me too. Episode 100, a special episode of the pod on the first major sporting events of the Olympic year, the crucial hockey qualifiers and the European track cycling. But so much more to come in 2024. You can check out our sporting calendar for next year, plus all of our latest blogs on the website, anythingbutfooty.com. And while I talk about blogs, I blogged, I think it was back in August 2023, so last year now, about Yorkshire and some of the northern cities, northern regions coming together to try and save the 2026, possibly 2027 Commonwealth Games. And you might have seen quite a lot of press interest in this now. It's been picked up by a number of the northern newspapers, notably by the sports editor at the Yorkshire Post, which is a guy called Nick Westby. And I would just say watch this space, because I think there will be more pressure on some of those civic leaders across the north of England to maybe look to step up and see if there is any feasibility, any possibility of potentially hosting a Commonwealth Games. It won't be a Commonwealth Games like we're used to. I've never said that, but it could be some kind of staging or edition of Commonwealth Games, or at least some Commonwealth sport. Keep watching for that.
We certainly will, and we hope that we don't lose Michael to the CEO of the Commonwealth Games Northern bid. Time for our news from the Games.
Might pay more.
To be fair, it would. One of those events to watch out for is the Aquatics World Championships in Doha next month. Now, we've discussed the British swimming and the diving teams in recent episodes, but a quartet of Britain's top marathon swimmers have also now been selected with Olympic qualification for Paris 2024. See, I did it again. Will be up for grabs. 7th in the world, Hector Pardew, the Tokyo Olympian, heads the British team. Toby Robertson, Amber Keegan and Leah Crisp are also included.
I was going to say staying in the pool, but marathon swimmers...
It's not in the pool.
The pool, are they really?
Bad script.
Staying in the water.
Yes.
Great Britain have recorded their best result in the European Water Polo Championships in a decade. The women's team reached the quarter-finals before eventually losing to the hosts and the world champions, the Netherlands, so not too shabby there. And a penalty shootout win over Israel will live long in many memories. If you've seen some of the clips on social media of the team and the coach celebrating that one, we do hope it is a stepping stone for further success. Remember, Great Britain, Team GB did have a water polo team back in 2012, but not since. So maybe that is something, an ambition, something to aim for.
Yeah, UK Athletics is pleased to announce that Micro Plus, this was what the press release says, as the title sponsor of the UK Athletics Indoor Championships, which take place in February in Birmingham next month. Of course, it is as well the trials for the new World Indoors, which are taking place in Glasgow in March. So some good news for UK athletics.
Now, a squad of 11 British athletes are flying off to Texas, hoping to continue their quest for a place at the Paralympics in Paris 2024. There, I said it again this summer. European para table tennis bronze medalist Martin Perry remains on track for his first Paralympic Games this summer. He, along with Commonwealth Games medalist Jack Hunter-Spivey, Tokyo bronze medalist Paul Karabardak and Megan Shackleton, all competing in the US Para Open in Corpus Christi.
And for the first time in the history of the Games, relay teams of 24 people made up of champions, everyday athletes, volunteers, referees, coaches, you know the kind of thing, will carry the Olympic and Paralympic flames throughout France and Paris. It's all been organised to spread the energy of sport and teamwork throughout the country. It is, of course, the torch relay, and Paris 2024 revealed the first team relay torch bearers who will carry that flame, as well as relay captains. Now, I have been through that list, Michael, and I haven't found Kylian Mbappe as yet. Now, he is the most famous French sports person that I know, and I know he's a footballer, so I think I need to do some genning up on some French Olympic and Paralympic athletes.
Check out their triathlon team and their judokas as well, would be what I would say if you want to look at where some medals might be going as far as the home nation are concerned at Paris 2024 later on this year. Don't forget, you can always get in touch with us. We are online at anythingbutfooty.com, and you can also find us on socials as well, on X, on Insta, on Facebook, and I think we're still there hanging on, clinging on by our fingernails on TikTok too. You've been listening to Anything But Footy, the Olympic and Paralympic podcast.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.